Hello everybody again. Welcome to our SiteLock Webinar. My name is Junyang and joining us today is our esteemed speakers Harvey, Channel Development Executive at SiteLock, and Jimmy Chin, Program Manager at WebNIC. I'm very excited to introduce this webinar because over the past few months, we have been actively working behind the scenes to collaborate with great companies to introduce you to our quality products and allowing you to develop various revenue channels. So today we are happy to bring you through our offering of SiteLock. So the first part of our webinar will be a run through on the current trend of web security, industries that requires web security for their website, and the benefits of SiteLock. There will also be a live demonstration on how SiteLock protects a website. And as for the second part of this webinar, we will cover key selling points of SiteLock that you can use to encourage your customers to protect their website, how to configure and subscribe to SiteLock, and if you stick around until the very end of this webinar, we will provide a special offer especially designed for you, our webinar guests today. So I would like to request everybody again to kindly mute their speakers until our Q&A sessions later. Thank you. Now without further ado, I will pass this time to Aaron, who has graciously accepted and lent his time to present the first session of the webinar. Aaron?
Hello everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to learn a little bit more about SiteLock. We are extremely excited about the partnership that we have together. There's a number of value points that we will definitely stress over, and obviously website security is something that's, and security as a whole is something that's on everyone's mind. So we want to make sure that you guys are well versed with the product, know the ins and outs of it, the many benefits, and so on. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get that started. So as Jimmy alluded to, we will definitely be going over a number of different information here. We will be going over a quick high-level overview of the different type of services, the different packages that will be available, and is meant for the many different advantages of having website security on them today. There's a lot of different value points that go into having website security. There's a lot of things that are going out. Maybe you've heard of quite a few of these different things, but there's a number of studies that are constantly done on a daily or yearly or quarterly basis that find out the statistics of why customers and why your customers need website security for their websites. In actuality, there's a lot of things that contribute to websites being compromised in the first place. The first is negligence, or not knowing that they need website security at all. We've done actually a survey that lets us know, or that has told us that 70% of customers actually think that their hosting provider is responsible for their website security, or they're just not sure that who is responsible for the security of their website. These sites are typically informational sites, a lot of blogs, small businesses and nonprofits, websites for organizations, websites that you wouldn't necessarily think that they're a target, but they're essentially for hackers the low-hanging fruit for them to be able to compromise. The majority of these also are from the open source platforms that are used. When you have a platform like WordPress, one of the most popular out there, or Joomla, Drupal, OS Commerce, one of the main content management systems out there, keep in mind it's free for your users to use the website as it was intended to, but it's also free for hackers to download and know the ins and outs of. And a lot of those also include plugins and tools that are be used as access points directly into the files or templates of your customers' websites. There's also a lot of things like the brand reputation that suffers with Google or the different search engines out there that are ramifications of having a compromise in the first place. So there's these things are happening on a daily basis, an hourly basis. It's not just the large enterprises that are being attacked. It's also the small businesses out there too. As far as an actual attack on per day, we've actually done an internal study here at SiteLock. We actually found that an average website sees about 22 attacks per day, and that number is rising every year or every quarter. which means that an average website, no matter the size, if it's large or small, sees about 8,000 attacks per year. Now, whether those attacks are actually robots crawling the site the same way a Google crawler would, looking for vulnerabilities of the site, or if it's an actual targeted attack, that's all included in that number. But if your customers have a site, the chances are they're having some type of crawler looking for some type of vulnerability to exploit on their websites. Another staggering statistic is that websites that actually are compromised, if they deal with it one time, 9 chances out of 10, or in this case, 60% of websites that have dealt with a compromise are going to deal with it again within 3 months of the initial attack. A lot of times people's mindset is, well, I just want to upload a backup of the site, which will do a quick fix, but that doesn't fix the vulnerable spot that the hacker used in order to get inside of the site in the first place. So it's imperative that they have some type of solution that's not only going to help remove the issue and remediate it, but also help block the issue from happening in the first place. There's a lot of statistics that we've kind of gathered. These are kind of the core ones. We want to keep this as brief as possible to make sure that we're giving you the most valuable points for your customers and in ways to make sure that the product marketing for SiteLock is effective. So who needs website security? So we touched on this a little bit. Obviously, enterprise websites that are very large, they have high traffic volume. They're collecting any type of sensitive data like credit card information, even email addresses, phone numbers, first and last name. Anything that a customer wouldn't like for it to be publicized would be something that would be a reason why a customer or why you would need website security for their site. Not just that, as we talked about already in the previous slide, personal website owners are a specific target, probably one of the highest percentage because of the number of personal websites, number one, but also because, again, they are that low-hanging fruit or those easy targets that hackers will try to exploit in order to get their software or their malware signatures on a very wide range of websites. For instance, hackers will create a specific signature that's used for WordPress version 4.8.2, or whatever the case may be, or maybe for a specific plugin. Number one, if you're not keeping up to date with those current versions, you're going to be vulnerable. But if you're on that platform, or if that is the current platform and there's no specific update, you're going to still be vulnerable to a specific attack. So those are, again, some of the main websites that are going to be dealing with these type of issues. So what are some of the security points of having website security, or what are some of the benefits? Well, number one, having something like a service like SiteLock will help prevent blacklisting with Google and the different search engines. When you have a service that's going to alert you of a malware issue, or also remove the issue for you, or even protect it, it'll help make sure that issue isn't an issue in the first place. It also will help eliminate data theft. So making sure that your customers that do have or do collect sensitive data on their websites, it's eliminating that factor from happening with their business or their website that they maintain. So what about SiteLock? Who are we? Some of you may have heard of us before. Some of them may have not. So we are the global leader in website security. What we did is we kind of heard a market that we saw there wasn't really a solution for. And because of that, we've become one of the chosen vendors of many hosting providers around the world. We currently manage more than 12 million websites at this time, and that's paid website users. We block over 2.5 million threats on a daily basis. We find over 10,000 security flaws in the websites that we scan on a daily basis. We scan a ton of source files, as well as we download a ton of information, and we'll get into that shortly too, in some of the features that are included with the packages that you guys will be able to offer with us. And also we offer a SiteLock badge. which is a trust seal for your customers, similar to an SSL, but it's going to verify that all of the website is free and clear of malware on it. So that's another feature that you have with having the SiteLock service, a level of the SiteLock service. As I mentioned, we do have a global presence. We do have over 40 points of presence around the world. Obviously, we are localized here in the United States, but we do service customers all around the world. So we want to make sure that people are very well aware that we want to make sure that we're providing the fastest level service, no matter where they're located at. So a little bit about SiteLock. So me personally, I've been with the company about 6 years now. It'll be 6 years in June. I started when the company had probably about 6 or 7 people all in one room. We started doing sales support, the malware remediation, hardening for open source platforms, all the same. Then we kind of evolved. Now we have over 200 employees in that short amount. We were founded in 2008, but we won actually a ton of awards, a lot of different accolades for the type of services that we offer. Our main motto is we find issues, we fix them, and we help prevent them. And you'll hear me say that quite a bit over the course of this presentation, simply because it's our motto. It's very simple, it's very comprehensive and easy for your customers to understand. We've also modeled our product set that way too. We do offer a number of different services. Currently, we're going to be starting off with WebNIC on our small to medium-sized business offerings. And later on, we'll eventually evolve into our enterprise-level offerings too, which will start to include DDoS protection and application pen testing on websites for static and as well as dynamic, and some other features too that are extremely essential for your enterprise clients out there. So next slide. So why would you want to partner with SiteLock? So there's a number of different things. We are that one-stop shop, as the slide is alluding to. We make sure it's comprehensive, easy for you to understand based upon the name of the product that you're actually getting. We provide advanced detection so that we have the largest database of malware signatures in the entire world. So because we are scanning so many websites on a daily basis, we're constantly getting a feed into that database of all the different type of malware that may infect a website so that we can alert you of it, and also, depending on your package, also be able to remove the issue that you have. It also gives next generation automation technology that removes malware automatically and securely. We'll get into that in a little bit later. It's a key feature and a key function and selling point of why customers would want to have the SiteLock website security, or one of the packages for that. It also is going to help improve the performance of a website. When you couple in the services of a web application firewall or content delivery network, which many of you are already familiar with, it'll help make sure that not only protecting the site, but it's also helps speeding it up too, utilizing those global points of presence that we saw in the map earlier in the other slide. And then we also have what's called a risk score, which is one of our newer features. So based upon a number of different factors, we will actually calculate the chances of a website actually being compromised, which is a great tool for your customers that are that maybe want to start off with a lower level to make sure the service is going to work the way it's intended to. It's a great gateway tool for easy upgrades to higher level packages to make sure that the customers know what their chances of being compromised are. We created this algorithm specifically for a lot of small to medium-sized businesses. We factored in different components, such as if a website has an SSL, or if it has a flash on the website, or what content management system was used for the site, if they have an existing web application firewall or content delivery network. There's literally 500 different components that we're scanning so that if we see anything or see specific traits on a site, it'll calculate a specific risk score for that website and the chance of it being compromised. And that is included on all of the services. So you'll see here too, these are some of our larger clients. These are some of our enterprise level websites. A lot of these are more familiar here in the States. Main partner we have in Asia Pacific area is so we're really excited for this partnership that we have to make sure that they continue to run their business safely and effectively and concentrate on running their businesses versus on the website security. So SiteLock features. We've talked a little bit about these already too. It helps prevent blacklisting and business failure. It'll help make sure that we're scanning and alerting you of malware as well as vulnerabilities on the website. And it also includes malware removal, which is a huge tool. Again, we'll get into that a little bit later. It also, later on, will have the ability to mitigate large-scale DDoS attacks. Web application firewall and content delivery network do come with basic functions for DDoS attacks, so you'll have that capability too. You also will have application scanning, so it'll be able to tell you based upon the different applications you're using, whether it's a content management system or any platform, whether or not they're out of date or what needs to be done to make sure that that application isn't leading to a potential compromise of your website. It also helps protect your reputation. Whenever a website is compromised, if one customer goes to your site and it's down for any reason, you may have lost that customer. And not only that, you may lose some branding too. What if Google happens to crawl your site at the same time your site may be down because you didn't have website security? You can lose quite a bit of your reputation with them, which could hurt detrimentally or completely shut a business down. So there's a lot of benefits of having website security or specifically having the SiteLock services for your website. Next, we have the packages that you guys will have available to you. So number one, we have the Find package. As I mentioned, these packages are very comprehensive. They're very easy to understand and what they're going to actually do for you. The Find tool is going to be just a simple alert tool for you and your customers. It's going to do malware scanning for our basic 25 pages. It's going to start off with the index file. About 90% of infections that come through on a website are sorted through your index file or your customer's index file. So it's going to be able to alert your a website of issues of that sort. It also will include one-time vulnerability scan. It's queued after 90 days that the service has been set up to scan for cross-site scripting, SQL injections, and applicate the application scan, the vulnerability test that's done on the type of application that you use. Next, we have the fix. This would be one that you typically will probably offer the most as the most cost-effective plan with the most versatile tool on the market. It being the automatic malware removal tool. Yes, that is automatic, meaning that if once it scans the website via an FTP, SFTP, or SSH connection, it'll be able to remove the issue that may plague or be on a website. It's going to scan this on a daily basis for you automatically on that fix plan. It's also going to be able to tell you when files have been changed inside of there. It'll send you an alert via email for any one of these type of alerts, whether it's a vulnerability or for malware, or if we've actually removed the issue for you. It is running off a signature database that's updated on an hourly basis. So, for instance, if you are plagued with a malware attack, that's a brand new signature because it may be a targeted attack. That means it's immediately sent to our research and development team to make sure that they're putting in only the code in that signature database that's related to the malware, so that we're not affecting any of the functionality of the website. And then once that's figured out, that malware will be removed automatically on the next scan or the next scans that happen with it. After the fixed plan, we have the prevent plan, which starts to use the web application firewall and content delivery network services. So those will help prevent the website from being compromised, and it will also help speed up the website using those global points of presence to make sure that the website is constantly running fast no matter where somebody's accessing it from. And then we have the 911. So the 911 is our emergency line here in the United States. That's an emergency plan. So the difference between this one and the fixed plan is the 911 is going to run it's going to start within 30 minutes of you actually purchasing the product. The fixed plan will run within 24 hours of purchasing the plan. So there is a huge incentive on that portion to make sure that if a customer's website is down at the time, that should be your go-to to be able to remove that issue right away and continue to scan it until that malware is completely removed. And then the difference between the two is the fixed plan is going to be ongoing for the plan that you have with that fixed plan, and the 911 is a one-time scan that's done. So ongoing versus a one-time scan that happens. Next, we have the differentiation. So what SiteLock is, how we're different from other security providers out there. If you look at the bottom of this page, and no doubt you may be very familiar with some of these other providers out there. This is how SiteLock came into market. There's a ton of these out there, but none of them were really focusing on the end-to-end website security or for like web applications. We talk a lot about content management systems, but also we do what the services will work for any type of platform, whether it's ASP.NET, it's a front page site, it's Cold Fusion, it's a straight PHP driven site. It will work on anything. We are that one-stop shop to make sure that you have a solution specifically for a website. Some of these other providers that you see here will provide server level security. Some of them provide SSLs. Some of them provide network security, but not all of them are mainly focused on website security. So you have a huge advantage here of being able to offer the leading provider of website security to your customers. So what do we expect? These are some numbers that we see regarding conversion rates as well as the percentage of malware. For instance, if you have a clientele set, you're going to see anywhere from about 1 to 3% on a monthly basis of your customers being plagued with some form of malware, whether it be a very basic version or an advanced version. That's about the average globally. So it's on a monthly basis. So if you have 1,000 customers, you may see 10 a month or so. But the real idea is to educate customers on the need so that they don't have to deal with issues like this in the first place. Once a customer actually has malware, most of them, I would say a good percentage, I think it's 30 to 45% of them actually can convert to an actual product, which is a very high percentage for any product. Malware is one of those type of things that when you're dealing with it, it plagues and it can really damage a business. So people are willing to come out of pocket a lot easier to help remove an issue like that and get their website back up and running. A lot of these other statistics here are great, but those are going to be kind of the core ones, so that you guys know of what to kind of expect on conversion rates of having the SiteLock service included with your packages.